Hello again, beautiful. It's Desiree, and I'm back to start addressing with you the first of 5 cornerstones of self-esteem. So this is going to be the first part in 5 short videos that are going to speak to you about how to deepen more into developing and activating and radiating that exquisite core of self-esteem. So the first cornerstone is, and I've mentioned this before when I said to you that self-esteem is an inside job. The first cornerstone of activating real core self-esteem is to get in touch with your inner knowing. And this is your inner voice. This is that part of you, deep inside of you, that speaks to you in your quiet moments. And really it's connected, I believe it's connected to your soul. I believe it's connected to a higher part of you. And the reason it's so important in terms of activating real self-esteem to connect to this part of you is because this part of you is the only being, if you like, the only presence, the only other entity that actually knows the path and the plan for your life. So if you're somebody who's always going to be running around, getting approval from others, asking others questions, unable to make a decision, just on your own, then this is something you really need to work at strengthening. Now, how to hear your inner voice is different for many people. I believe the most powerful way to do this is through daily meditation, and that's because my experience and certainly what I teach my clients is that prayer, and when you're on your knees, you know how much you're praying, right? Prayer is your asking, your requests to God, and meditation is the quieting of your mind so that you can hear the answers to those prayers. So this is a really important practice. Daily meditation is something that I can't recommend highly enough. Now, other people can connect to their inner voice in other ways, usually at some kind of time where they're engaged in an activity, where their vibration is raised, where they're feeling uplifted, where they just feel elevated. And that can be listening to beautiful music. It could be classical music or any kind of music that inspires you. Also, walking in nature, that's another big one that I believe in, and it's certainly true for me. Walking in beautiful nature can really connect you to that inner voice and, allow your intuition to speak bold and clear to you. So that's really great as well. So whatever way works for you, whether you like to quiet your mind and do deep breathing and look at a candle, but the idea is to just still the outer thoughts of your mind, switch off to the outer world, all the chaos, everything that's going on, and make that inner connection. Now, there are 2 parts to this. Making the connection is the first part, but the second part is actually having the courage to act upon what it is that you hear, whatever it is that your intuition says to you. You need to be able to develop the courage to act on that with complete confidence, regardless of what anybody else is saying, regardless of what anyone else thinks, whether they approve or not. This is a practice that's really, really, really gonna help you so much. So this is going to be my first challenge for you today. Certainly for the next day or 2, or if you can manage it for a week, I'd like you, every time you have a question or a concern, or you're trying to make a decision for your life, I'd like you to try and refrain from asking anybody else in your life about what they think it is you should do. I'd like you to actually start getting into the practice of going within, quietening your mind, relaxing, and just putting the question out there to yourself and seeing what comes to you. Journaling is another fantastic way to connect with yourself. Just journaling your emotions, journaling what's going on, and just letting that run into a stream of consciousness in which, new insights and new messages start to come through. So that's my challenge to you. Connect to yourself. Be sure to make decisions on your own as far as possible. Don't ask anybody else for help, and see how that goes. So that's the first cornerstone to activating core self-esteem, and I'll see you next time for the second. Bye.